How many times have you believed in something just because everyone says so? Welcome to It's True What, the channel where in just over 3 minutes, we will unveil the truth behind the most intriguing myths, urban legends, curiosities, beliefs, mysteries, and conspiracy theories in history. The channel where curiosity is our compass and knowledge our destiny. In this video we dive into one of the most persistent rumors in the music world. Is it true that Paul McCartney, the famous member of the Beatles, died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced by a look-alike? Hello everyone, I'm Nivo, and in today's episode we're going to unravel one of the most famous conspiracy theories in rock and roll. Could it be that the real Paul McCartney left this world decades ago, and that the man we know today is nothing more than an imposter? Join me in this fascinating investigation. The story begins in 1966, when the Beatles were at the height of their career. In November of that year, a rumor began to circulate among fans and the media. Paul McCartney, the band's bassist, had died in a tragic car accident and had been replaced by a look-alike to prevent the news from affecting the group and its millions of fans. This theory, known as Paul is dead, began to gain traction in 1969, when a student called a radio station in Detroit, claiming that if you listened to Beatles songs backwards, you would find clues to Paul's death. Supporters of the theory claim that the Beatles left cryptic clues on their albums, both in the lyrics and on the album covers. Let's look at some of the most famous ones. On the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, some claim that the flowers form a base symbolizing Paul and suggesting a funeral scene. Also, on the back cover of the album, Paul is the only one shown with his back turned, which some interpret as a sign that he was really no longer with the Beatles. Another famous clue is the cover of Abbey Road, where the Beatles cross a street in London. According to conspiracy theorists, the order in which they walk represents a funeral procession: John Lennon, dressed in white, as the preacher; Ringo Starr, in black, as the pallbearer; George Harrison, in jeans, as the gravedigger; and Paul, barefoot and out of step, as the deceased. But what did the Beatles themselves have to say about this theory? Over the years, they have adamantly denied the story, with Paul McCartney going so far as to joke about it. In an interview with Life magazine in 1969, Paul stated, "The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. But if I were dead, I'm sure I'd be the last to know." Despite denials and hoaxes, the Paul is dead theory continues to fascinate fans, fueling debates and documentaries for decades. So what can we make of all this evidence? Most experts agree that it is a combination of coincidence, imagination, and the human tendency to look for patterns even where there are none. The Paul is dead phenomenon is a classic example of pareidolia. Fans, eager to make sense of their idols and their works, began to interpret insignificant details as deliberate clues, creating a narrative of mystery and conspiracy. So is it true that Paul McCartney died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced by a look-alike? While the theory is fascinating and has generated much curiosity, the evidence points to Paul McCartney being very much alive and still one of the world's most influential musicians. Sometimes urban legends are just that, legends. Do you think there could be some truth behind the conspiracy, or is it all just a big coincidence? Leave us your opinion in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing and enlightening content on It's True What.